welcome to episode 42 of the Fourth and Skol podcast. As always, we are your hosts. I am Sam, and that is Pat, and we're coming at you live right after the game.
Boy,
we're recording this minutes after.
I just watched Kirk Cousins and the offensive line, specifically the offensive line, crap their pants.
The offensive
with
line,
a minute and 42 seconds left.
The offensive line lost the game. We were down 1 point. We were down 1 point.
Bro,
we had a minute and 45 seconds.
40, yeah, something like that. But to make it better is they had a 3rd and 9 and they didn't get any yards on that possession. It was 4th and 9. I thought it would be like 3rd and 2, an easy 40-some yard chip shot field goal.
I know.
Gostkowski's a god.
He hit two long mid-50s.
How can all game the offensive line? I was going to sit here and talk about the offensive line all day. This is what the podcast was going to be, offensive line for me.
Yeah.
And that last drive, what the heck happened?
They lost. Here's the thing.
Bro.
The offensive line did a lot of good things throughout the day. Dalvin Cook had like 181 rushing yards, so they opened up some holes. But oh my God, at the end of the game when it came crunch time to pass protect, oh my God. Dude, there was that penalty that was roughing the passer where Bradbury just got
not a passer. It was not a roughing the passer. I'm being completely like from a pure NFL perspective.
I completely agree.
Baloney
it was
penalty.
A baloney call.
Baloney penalty.
Bradbury just like he got his lunch handed to him.
I thought it was hands to the face on Bradbury, like against him, like on him, but it was not.
No.
He got blown apart.
Yeah.
Bro. I know, so it's funny because I went into this mode and I went into this 0-16 mode because I didn't want to feel emotion. And I went into that. And then, can you tell me, we watched the whole game.
Yeah.
I was full on in like the whole game.
Yeah, you were.
People get two different perspectives.
There's a moment in the first quarter. So on the Vikings' first offensive drive, we went 3 and out, and Pat's like 0-16. I don't want anything else. 0-16. And then we go ahead and and then Dalvin Cook loses that fumble.
Oh gosh, that fumble.
Dalvin Cook loses that fumble, and then that was like 0-16. I can feel it. And then we go ahead and we get that touchdown. Was that a Justin Jefferson touchdown?
No.
Which, by the way,
the first one was not Jefferson. I think the first one was Cook.
Yeah, it was Dalvin Cook.
It was Cook,
right.
Yeah. Hey, dude, okay, can I say one thing that Fourth and Skol podcast has been claiming since day one?
Yeah, say it.
Has been getting Jefferson the ball. That's all we've said.
Oh, my God,
That's all we've said. Can you please, stat guy, hit me with the stats.
All right. Justin Jefferson, 7 receptions.
7?
175 yards and a touchdown.
You know what's funny is that after his last touchdown, he didn't see the ball for the rest of the game. And do you know why?
Why?
Because Minnesota Vikings football is a joke. I'm looking at you, coaching staff. Okay. You go into this, put your tail underneath your butt, and cower your way through the rest of the game, just hoping you don't make a mistake. That's Minnesota Vikings football, is don't make a mistake.
Yeah.
Let's not make a mistake. Why don't you attack aggressively the whole game like you had been doing?
It's like you watch any game, any team that gets a primetime slot.
Yeah,
you see them and they're down by 1. They have a minute 40 to go on the clock, and they go down and they make a fucking drive.
I'm gonna do you one better. They're up 10 with 4 minutes and like 8 minutes left in the clock. You think they're running the ball on 3 straight possessions? No. Russell Wilson is doing magic. Dude, we should not have lost this game. This was the game that was going to bring me back into the entire season. I was so bought into this game.
And we won this game on a lot of different... We also lost this game on a lot of different fronts. There was the Dan Bailey missed field goal, which I think... I
was so emotionally invested into that field goal.
So that field goal... I want to talk about the field goal for just a quick moment. So it was, a 46-yarder or something like that? Yeah, I think it was 46. And then the defensive line, the Titans did some they balked or something like that. They drew the offensive line to false start.
What the hell was that?
I don't know.
Yo, I had some sort of deception thing because I don't think it's allowed in the NFL on the defensive line to do anything to instigate a hike-like performance. Yeah. And I know the QB can do that. But I know, the defense can't.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
And that felt fishy as hell to me.
Yeah.
That felt really weird.
It felt really weird. And then, so after that, people are going to say, oh, well, it doesn't matter because there's another penalty, and they brought it back to where the... First of all, I want to talk about 2 things. Number one, that penalty, the next penalty where they jumped off sides, and the dude just came right at Bailey's face. If you're, the smallest guy on the team, you're the kicker, right? And you have this dude, 245 pounds, barreling down at you, and you're thinking, shoot, he's going to block this field goal, and it's going to be my fault, this, that, and the other. Even though it's a flag, it got overturned, and they brought him back. That's in your head now. Not only that, but after 2 penalties, you're iced. That's essentially like taking 2 timeouts at the end of the game to ice the kicker. for those that don't know what icing is, it's when people call a timeout to delay the kicker from when he got his practice shots in to when he has to go make the kick. So they effectively iced him without having to take a timeout. And I know Vrabel wasn't happy about him jumping off sides, but man, that got you got to believe that got into Bailey's head. And that kick was the difference maker. But more so than that, I don't put that on Bailey. I put that on the Titans shenanigans. But the biggest thing in my mind that lost the game was the offensive line on that last frickin' drive that we just needed to get into field goal range. All we needed to do was get into field goal range. We didn't need to march all the way down and get a touchdown. We were down by 1 point. And they just got beat on every single play. It's just like, what do you...
It was 4th and 24.
It was 4th and 24.
It was 4th and 24 on
and
a
you know what?
game-winning drive.
Kirk threw a damn good ball. That ball was right in Thielen's basket, but he was in quadruple coverage. You know, like when you got to throw a ball.
Are you talking the 4th and 24 pass?
Yeah.
Bro, that wasn't going to fucking connect. I know it went into his hand, and like when you watch in slow-mo, it's like, wow, oh, he had it.
But like you can't ask for a better pass.
I know.
Maybe you could ask for a better read.
But put that aside. You shouldn't be in 4th and 24 on the last drive.
You should not be in 4th and 24. And that was the offensive line's fault. And that drive started with that roughing the passer penalty that brought it up to first.
We got
first
an
and 10 on the
advantage.
40.
An advantage.
An advantage.
That was a dud that was thrown to the bottom of Cook's hands.
And it's not like they were blitzing. They were sending 4 on every play, and our offensive line just... I don't know if they were gassed.
Give Tennessee credit because in every game, they've won by I think 3 or less. I think Gostkowski has had a game-winning field goal every game.
Yeah, I think you're right.
To put the perspective.
Yeah, I think you're right.
They've been 1 game-winning field goals. And that's what champions do, is they pull up when they need to.
Yeah. But
Sam,
here's the thing. We've been... For the last 2 weeks, you and I have been complaining about the lack of offensive production. And we had an offensive day. Dalvin Cook, 22 carries for 181 yards. He averaged 8.2 yards a carry. 8.2 yards per carry. That's nuts.
Wait, how many carries did he have?
22.
So he didn't have 30 plus. So Zimmer still sits at 39
Justin Jefferson.
And 0. Dude,
we talked about that. 7 yards for 175.
Hey, can we take a minute to talk about Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, please.
Dude, I have been so excited for Justin Jefferson. From day one, genuinely. Historically speaking, the Vikings' first-round wide receivers, Treadwell, for example, not a good pick.
Yeah.
I can't tell you any other wide receivers in the first round other than Troy Williamson, who was a complete and utter dud. To think that he was worse than Treadwell blows my effing mind. Justin Jefferson wholeheartedly.
He has.
I have said it for. I could go back. I could pull some strings together, some clips of us talking about how madly we've wanted Jefferson to get the ball.
So at the end of last week's podcast, we talked about how we didn't know how the game was going to go, but there was going to be some takeaways for sure. And I think the Justin Jefferson piece is one of those takeaways.
Can I tell you why?
Why?
Because it opened the game up.
It opened the game up.
This is. I'm gonna flip the script here.
Yeah.
Thielen and Stephon Diggs. Diggs was getting double teamed.
Yeah.
Thielen was open. Guy had like 10 100-yard performance.
Thielen gets double teamed.
He beat
Diggs was
Calvin
open.
Johnson's record of like 100-yard catches or whatever the hell it was, right? Let's flip the script now. Now it's Thielen getting double covered and Jefferson open.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm trying to preach. Jefferson doesn't need a 30, 40-yard catch to get his yards.
No, he doesn't.
He's a yak player. He's a yards after the catch wide receiver.
His touchdown run, he threw off 2 different guys.
I'm a nurse. I didn't play no football growing up, and I could see that that's what his style of football is.
Yeah.
He
just get the ball in his hands.
5-yard slant. He'll pick up 15.
So I think that's a good thing that we're taking away from today. So Kirk was building trust with him. He built trust with him today, and so he doesn't think that he has to rely solely on Adam Thielen. Now, on that 4th and 24 at the end of the game, he did force it to Adam Thielen. I'd like
to prevent defense.
I'd like to see where Jefferson was.
Bro, it was prevent defense.
Yeah.
Or not prevent to that extent, but it was prevent defense.
I know what you're saying.
For 4th and 24.
I know what you're saying.
There was nothing. That game was done. You don't come back. The
From 4th and
Minneapolis
24.
Miracle only happens because of the Saints.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, fuck you, New Orleans. Sean Payton, get out of the league, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I was heavily invested into today's game.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of emotional energy watching today's game.
Well, and it's because the Vikings gave you hope. That's
I know,
what they do.
but I sit here and I try and lessen the blow for what happened today. That's why I talk about 0-16. That's why I talk about getting an early draft. That's why I've already canned the fucking season. I canned the season because I knew that this was going to happen. I knew that in week 3, like you said, your benchmark is week 4, which, by the way, I want to give you so much credit for because you're 100% right. Okay.
Yeah.
In a season where the Vikings have 6 new defensive starters, whether they're rookies or some free agent or some sort of trade, okay, you can't expect to really do well with no chemistry. You need chemistry. It's like a relationship with a wife or a husband. You have to have
with
chemistry.
No preseason.
You don't just get married after 3 or 4 weeks together.
Yeah.
You have to get to a year or two, whatever it is, right? Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
So I almost want, it's hard for me to put the blame on one thing because there's so many facets to this puzzle that doesn't have connecting pieces.
Yeah.
But today things connected.
Yeah.
For me at least, I saw things that made sense.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Tennessee was playing a little I don't know. But that's how they're a close game. They're a close game team this year. That's what they are.
Yeah. I mean, that's just it, man. It was such a good game. And the Vikings, like, they didn't look like the Vikings of the last 2 weeks. They looked like you were starting to finally put some things together. How many points did Gostkowski have today? By the time the Titans had 12
they
points.
had 9. No, they had 12.
By the
You're
time,
right. They had 4 field
they
goals.
had 4 field goals right
and
in a
the
row.
game-winning one.
And the game-winning one. So, like, 15 of their 31 points, at least, or more, came off of Gostkowski's foot. Plus, you got to attack on some PATs. Gostkowski had more than half of their points. And so our defense is doing... Yeah, they got in the end zone a couple of times, but our defense is starting to click. Our offense is starting to click. We're starting to pick up steam. But god damn it, 0-3, 0-3. This is the third time in Vikings franchise history that we've gone 0-3.
Third time. I was actually curious.
Yeah, this is the third time in Vikings history we've gone 0-3.
Okay, so hey, I have a question for you. Honestly, I have a genuine question.
Yeah.
I want a genuine answer. Okay. Do you think there's any honest to God prayer that we sneak into a wild card spot at the 6th seed?
Well, I think now.
But wait, hang on. Put away the Sam that's like very hopeful, and I actually appreciate that we have that on the podcast because you're that side of this podcast. Dude. I'm not gonna lie. On this people probably think I'm a really negative person. I'm really not. I'm actually a really fucking happy person who's grateful for everything I've had in my entire life. But when it comes to Vikings football, that doesn't seem that way.
So here's the problem: the schedule doesn't get easier. I mean,
it does not.
So next week we have the Texans.
Who do we have?
We have the
on the road, right? On the road.
Yeah, on the road.
But
the Texans are also 0-3. But they played the Ravens.
0-3.
They played the Ravens. Who else? Who did they play week 1? I forget who they played week 1. They played the Steelers this week. They just lost, and the Steelers are a good team.
But we don't do well against running quarterbacks.
We don't do well. After that, we have the Seahawks. Primetime Kirk.
Which, by the way, Russell Wilson is my favorite quarterback that's ever played in the NFL.
So then, by the time week 6 rolls around, we're playing the Falcons, who...
Matty Ice, I feel like Matty Ice
They're
is
either
a step above what Kirk Cousins is. Like,
no,
yeah.
I'd take Kirk over Matt any day.
Oh,
I'd take Kirk over Matt Ryan.
Oh,
but here,
are you kidding me right now, bro? You said you'd take Kirk Cousins over Drew Brees last year.
Yeah, and I still would. Drew Brees is straight trash.
This year he's old as hell. He needs to retire in the next year. Okay,
when he doesn't have Michael Thomas, he's exposed without Michael Thomas.
Bro, you cannot say stuff like that.
Okay, hold on. Let me continue. After that, we have the Packers again. And so
already the Packers
there's a very real chance that we lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a real chance we go 0-7.
Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. This is where my season is, man. You would think that sitting at 0-3, I'd be depressed. I'd probably be more drunk than I am right now. But listen, man. Hey, no. Let me flip the script, bud. Okay, this is for the first time ever. I'm excited about restarting.
Yeah,
this is a fresh beginning, bud.
We also have one of the, if not the youngest defense in the NFL.
Okay, but we got to remember Harrison Smith won't be there in the next 3 years. He's going to be gone.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Do you think he's going to retire? Or do you think he's going to go somewhere else?
Yeah, it's like his 9th year, 10th year this year. He's going to be old. We're going to have a new piece, so that sucks not having him. But the current piece is what you were about to say, is that we're very young and we're learning. This is the year to learn. To be 0-3 and to be learning is perfect right now.
And we're reestablishing. Here's the problem. I understand. Like, there's a real chance we go 0-7. God dang it, I really hope we don't. Like, I want to enjoy the season. And as soon as we go 0-4, 0-5, 0-6, it's like, well, what are we even doing?
I know. No one's going to listen.
What are we doing? Well, yeah. And our podcast numbers are going to be down.
I don't even care.
More importantly, it's like, what am I going to do on Sundays? Like,
bro,
like,
let me tell you what we're going to do on Sundays.
The Vikings just won't, like, if they're not in the playoff picture, I worry they won't be fun to watch, regardless of how good the game is. If we had a game like today, today was fun because we still have hopes of the playoffs. But if today's game was after we were already 0-7, like, does it even matter?
It doesn't. But let me tell you what does matter. The draft pick. I honestly, I'd have to look back. When's the last time we had within the top 10 draft pick? 1 to 10. When's the last time? Maybe
It wasn't
Sharif
Christian
Floyd?
Ponder?
Was it Sharif Floyd with like the pick number 7?
Was it Sharif Floyd or was it
I
Christian
want to say
Ponder?
it's Sharif Floyd in like 2013 or something like that.
Okay.
I want that if I'm just drawing at straws,
Sharif
but I feel
Floyd.
like he might have been the most recent one.
Sharif Floyd, what up?
Maybe Trey Waynes was he a top 10 pick?
No, he wasn't. I think he
wasn't?
was like
Okay.
in the teens. But no, Sharif Floyd, what a talent, and by God, that guy could not stay healthy.
Yeah. Dude, today hurt. I'm not gonna lie, today hurts for me. Today hurts for me.
Today hurts.
And I know I'm going to say it again because I don't like it. Hurts me knowing that people think that I like fucking hate this team.
No, nobody thinks that, Pat.
Sam, I'm so
You're
bummed.
protecting.
I'm so bummed this year.
This is going to be therapist Sam. Pat, you're just trying to protect yourself. You're just trying to put your walls up so you won't get let down. You're just trying to make
Is
it
that
so you
healthy,
won't get
though?
hurt. I don't know. I don't know, Pat. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a podcast therapist. Kyle Rudolph's freaking touchdown.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. Okay, hey, can I quick say something?
Yeah.
Okay, we were looking at the. I don't know what down it was. Right, it must have been like 2nd and 10 or something like that. And I counted out every player we had. You remember me yelling? I said Irv Smith, I said Thielen, and I said Cook. I didn't see Rudolph in that play
I
at all.
thought he was at the end of the. He
He must have been on the top of the screen.
He was at the top. He was in a 3-point stance next to
and I didn't
Riley
see
Reef.
him. And then he threw the ball to God knows who. And here's Rudolph making this one-handed catch.
Same catch he made. Was it in the playoffs last year?
I'm going to argue it was even better.
Yeah.
No, he didn't make it. Oh,
No,
in the
yeah,
play.
it was
Oh, I
in the-
forgot the
in
playoff
overtime,
one. You
in
know what?
overtime.
I forgot about that. I was thinking the Cowboys game. That's his
Oh.
third. Yes.
Yeah.
Bro, that's his like
Yeah.
third. And you know what's funny? I honestly, you know what? I'm going to take the time. Just start talking about something because I'm going to look up how many catches he has this year.
So yeah, okay. I would love to hear that stat. It's so difficult because like we talk about how like are the Vikings even going to be exciting if they lose all these games? But then we talk about how exciting it was for Kyle Rudolph to catch this ball, and so
Okay.
it's like I don't know what type of Vikings I want to see, and it's difficult. What Pat? What do you got?
This is so sad.
What?
Okay. I'm just going into 2020 receiving, and I don't know if it factors in. Oh, it doesn't factor. Before that touchdown, he was 2 receptions on 3 targets of 28 yards.
Well,
So
yeah.
this
I mean,
game, he had 2 receptions, 11 yards, and a touchdown. He's not
So-
being utilized whatsoever.
so
He's getting paid like $10 million a year.
I don't think, like I said, week 4 is my benchmark.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're ready to throw the season out yet. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Week 4 is the benchmark. Here's some things that we did well that we didn't do in weeks 1 and 2. We ran the gosh darn ball. We ran the ball, and the offensive line, they made holes. We had 226 rushing yards today.
Can you tell me again how many carries he had? 22?
Cook had 22. We as a team had 33. Dude. So we ran the ball, and the offensive line did what they were supposed to do. Like they were able to open up holes in the running game, and they're a good. I'll give them credit. They're a good run blocking offensive line, but we still couldn't pass protect. We
did all game. I mean, there were a couple plays that, of course, didn't. I mean, you can't pass protect 100% the whole game.
Okay, so let's take a look at that
I'm
last
going to say
drive.
literally
That
from
last drive.
quarter 1 to a minute and 42 seconds left in the game, we played very well on the offensive line. Very well from a run and pass protective perception.
Okay, so then why was the
Perspective.
game as close as it was?
Because, do you remember Kirk Cousins taking back pick 6? Do you remember to start
glad you brought that up.
third quarter?
I'm glad you brought that
I'm
up.
going to rip this mic off the fucking.
No, I'm glad you
gonna
brought
rip
that
it
up.
off the
So,
table.
okay.
Bro.
So Pat and I have a difference of opinion on this. So Justin Jefferson is running a curl route.
Let me remind the fans, it was 1st and 10. It was the first play of the third quarter that
Do you have
wasn't
a
a kick
problem with the
return.
play call? Do you have a problem with the play call?
No, let me tell you what it was. It was a design curl route, a 5-yard curl route.
Okay, sure. Curl
He
route.
threw the ball wide right because he was pressured.
I don't know if it's because he was pressured or
was?
if because he thought that the route wasn't out. Because
No,
that
no,
was
no,
a
no, no,
perfect
no, no,
out
no,
ball.
no, no, no,
That was
no,
a
no, no, no,
perfect out
no,
route
no, no,
ball.
no. You got to listen here, buddy. It was not an out route. It was
That ball
first
was-
and 10.
but
You don't
okay.
do an out route on 1st and 10 for 5 yards. What is the point of a 1st and 10 5-yard out route?
They had just come off of their 2-minute offense coming from the first half.
Bro, they had 15 minutes to sit in the locker room and drink Gatorade.
I don't disagree with
Kirk
you.
Cousins was pressured.
I don't
and
disagree
he
with you.
panicked and he threw a piss poor ball that Jadeveon Clowney chose to stupidly wrecked Justin Jefferson when he didn't need to. His offensive, the right tackle was the last guy that could possibly touch him.
And our
the
defense,
cornerback,
and our defense held him to a field goal on that drive, and so
we
saved us 3 points.
You know what? As a matter of fact, we're lucky that we even had
4 points.
You turn a couple of those 5 field goals into 7-point scores, and this game is not what it is.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're
damn
absolutely
right, I'm right.
And it shows that our defense is starting to put some things together.
Yes, and it takes time because the defense, as a coach, if he's using, you don't just start playing well.
Speaking of our defense putting some things together, how about that Harrison Smith interception?
I don't even. Dude, matter
that was
anymore.
such a good interception.
It was a good interception. I know.
And then we marched down the field and got a touchdown.
I thought it would be a touchdown.
And then we marched down the field and got a touchdown. And so it's like we did so many good things, but we lost the goddamn game. And I don't know what else to do.
Bro, we're 0-3.
We're 0-3 and it sucks.
And then we have to. And then winter is next. Like, let that sink in for a second. Usually, we're like going into the playoffs in the middle of winter when it's like sad and cold and stupid. But we're 0-3 right now, bro.
We're playing another AFC team next week for the 3rd week in a row. Isn't that kind of weird?
People who schedule the NFL are just stupid.
Let's start with a division game. And then let's do 3 non-conference games.
Seriously. All pretty much in the same division.
Yeah.
Indianapolis, Tennessee, and Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for them. They all have wins against us. No tiebreaker there against the Vikings.
I feel good about the way we played, but I feel so terrible that we're 0-3. I'm so conflicted. I don't know what to say or do. Like I thought it was an entertaining game. I thought we did a lot of really good things. The offensive line, I don't know if they were gassed or if they were just reverted back to being bad on that last drive. But that was the difference maker in my opinion.
Up until Gostkowski hit that go-ahead field goal, this was the most fun. This is what I expect when I go into every game. I have fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
And it's funny I say that because this entire year leading up to that game and the start of that game, I haven't had any fun. It's been really piss poor. And it's funny I say that again because heading into this year, a COVID year where I didn't get to watch any preseason games, I didn't get to watch any of the Mike Zimmer interviews, all that stuff that I do to get myself ready for a season that I think most people don't do. I watch every single video the Vikings put out on that app. I watch it all before bed.
Yeah.
Because I just do. I just like to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sue me. I don't spend money on clothing. I don't spend money on cars.
I
don't do any of that stuff.
I watch it all on my lunch break.
That's my fun. I have fun doing that.
Yeah.
And this year I didn't get to do it. My heart's not even in this year, and I had to force myself into this game. And I had a little memory of what it was like to enjoy a football game again. It felt real, even though there were no fans. It felt like an actual football game for me.
Here's what I hope. I hope that the Vikings don't say we played a lot better than we did last week, and think that they're walking away here with a moral victory, because I hate the term moral victory because you fucking lost. But at the same time, let's build on what we started. You know?
Here's the problem. I think the players that are good enough to know that they're here and they've got long-term contracts, they can do that.
Yeah.
The players that are literally fighting for their jobs and supporting their families are going to play lights out because they have to. They don't have a choice. But the players that have guaranteed contract, the players that have extended contract 5 years, whatever it is, they're secure. They are. And there's a problem with being secure in life because then you get complacent. And it's the same with even you and I. Like, you know, like in my job, for example, other than going back to school and progressing and wherever I want to go, I can't really go up the ladder.
Conor McGregor, he fought Floyd Mayweather, got $100 million.
I haven't heard that guy since that happened. Exactly. Yeah, I haven't heard that at all. And same with like Cousins. Like I know, like I think this contract wasn't necessarily guaranteed, but like the one before was fully guaranteed. Yeah. And he didn't have any incentive. There's no incentive when you have everything that you want. Yeah. You have no desire to progress in life.
And we were speaking offline about this. You look at the truly great quarterbacks of the last 15, 20 years, your Peyton Mannings, your Tom Brady's, Ben Roethlisberger. All of these guys, they're leaders on their team, but it's not like they're the good guy. Like they're straight assholes. Yes. Like you listen to some of Pat McAfee on his podcast telling stories about Peyton Manning. Like Pat was just in the film room, like watching film one day by himself after hours, and then Peyton comes in and is just let's get out. And I'm just like, okay, you know,
all right, I'll believe it. Yeah,
yeah, and like, and these are, and as much as I think Kirk is physically gifted and talented and can make the right
He's
decisions,
an NFL quarterback. What's
He
the
doesn't-
percentage of players that make
like
the?
I saw you sent me that video of that John Gruden hyping up the locker room, and like that's not the Viking. Like that's not the leaders on our team.
We don't do
and
that.
We're lacking that fire. We're lacking that fire.
We are, and that's why I felt so hopeful. And when I saw Jefferson start to, it was one catch. I was like, okay. Wow, this is earlier than he usually catches the ball in the past 2 games.
Yeah.
Then he caught a second. Then he caught a third. And then he had a deep ball. And then he almost had that touchdown that was, well, first of all, great play by Malcolm Butler. Okay.
Yeah.
On back-to-back plays on Jefferson and then Thielen. Okay.
Which, by the way, I'm glad you brought that up.
What about it?
Again, perfect ball by Kirk.
Oh, I
just don't know what else to do.
Yeah. Let me quick say something, okay?
Go ahead.
Cousins played a really good game. He really did. Like, that's what I expect out of him. I do.
Yeah.
I think I have a hard time because I'm so used to, and I'm literally fascinated by mobile quarterbacks and today's day and age quarterback. Like, that's my envision of what it is, right?
Yeah.
And Cousins isn't that. And it's not fair for me to expect that, but it's not wrong for me to want that.
No, and I think this is the prime time to do that because we have Kirk for what, 3 more years after this?
2 years after this.
2 years after this?
Because he extended a 3-year, yeah.
Yeah. No, so that tacks on to
on top of so that was his 3rd year, so technically
so
he's got 3
this
more.
is his 3rd year, so he has 3 more.
God, I'm gonna be. He's got 3 more.
But Pat, this is the perfect time to bring in one of those young guys.
So
sit and learn.
wait. So let me make sure I'm understanding correctly. If we draft someone this year, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Like a Justin Fields or a Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah. Pat, listen, I'm not saying, I've never once said that Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback in the NFL. He definitely has his flaws, and I would love to have a Russell Wilson type. The problem is we've never been in a position where we can actually acquire one of them through the draft or free agency.
Yeah, no, I know.
And so, like, when we got Kirk, he was the best available. And when we extended Kirk, he was the best available
I was excited
to
about
the
that.
Vikings. To the Vikings.
Yeah.
And so if we
I know.
are in a position to take, like, I want that. Like,
I remember distinctly that I wanted Case Keenum, but then when I found out that there was Kirk Cousins with the fake plastic boobs and the beautiful fake plastic surgery that I was really excited about, I was all in for that.
Yeah.
And now I look back on it and they're deflated and they popped on the fucking airplane ride. And now I'm like, gosh, that Case Keenum looks so beautiful now, doesn't he?
yeah.
The problem with Case Keenum was that
Keenum's
he
the
was
one
a
you couldn't
spark.
commit to.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
The one you let go because you
the
couldn't
one
commit.
you know was good. That damn light.
Don't worry about it.
No.
No.
Keep talking. No, I'm just gonna unplug it and plug it back in.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. No.
I just, looking back, I think that maybe Case Keenum, I wanted to extend Case Keenum. I did. And then I fell under the same spell as you, Pat. And I was excited about Kirk Cousins. He was the hot one in free agency, and we went for it and we got it, and I was super excited. But you got to wonder what could have been. Would Diggs still be here?
Oh, that's for sure. That's 100% sure. I 100% think that Diggs' issue was coaching and then Kirk Cousins.
By the way, Buffalo Bills 3-0.
Oh man.
Buffalo Bills 3-0.
Hey bro, okay, I know for a fact, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I know, and I know no one looks back on the podcast, but I'm gonna call us out.
Yeah.
We were expecting Josh Allen to suck balls.
Yeah, we did.
I'm gonna say we both said that. And I don't
We
know
were
if that
laughing at Diggs. Ha ha ha.
I
Wait
think
until he finds
I think
out.
that was more of a bitterness that Diggs knew that it was time to leave.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm all about Bills Mafia today.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for Bills getting in the playoffs, and I'm all in for Diggs getting to the Super Bowl.
I want a Bills Bucks Super Bowl. I really do. And it's not because of Tom Brady.
No, they're in the same conference. No, I'm sorry, NFC. Tampa's NFC.
Bills
I'm so used
Bucks
to Tampa being
Bills Bucks Super Bowl.
Tom Brady being in the AFC. Yeah,
And it's not because of Tom Brady. Antoine Winfield Jr.
Yes.
One of the best safeties in the game today.
we had a chance
We had a chance.
because we had 2 picks in the first round, and I'm nothing against Gladly. Because
problem
he
is-
hasn't played much.
Yeah.
Like he really hasn't. I think I'm so excited for next year because these are growing pains. Like these are when you're in 3rd grade. I remember I was getting tall as hell in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
I had just growing pains, and that's what this is right now.
I know it's growing pains, and that's why it's pains. But I just hate just throwing out a whole year because you wait all year for this.
I know it sucks, but Sam, I'm gonna be dead honest, man. I didn't, and not that even we had a choice. It's not like we're like this. We go back to back Super Bowls. This is the year that I was like, I don't even want to win it because it's just a weird year. There's no fans. There's no nothing. This year sucks.
This year does kind of
This year just sucks.
Yeah.
It just does.
I agree.
And so, I mean, with the Vikings, this is the thing. Could you imagine if this is the year that we won it all and we could like have like a 200-person parade?
And the
Minnesota's
weird thing
first Vikings rule, we got 200-person parade.
It seems like there's a large chasm between the teams that are good and the teams that are not good. Doesn't it?
It does.
Like,
experience shows in this year. If there's any year without preseason, experience shows tremendously this year. It does. It really does.
I just, like I said, there's a lot to take away from today. There's a lot that the Vikings did well. I hope that we don't think that today was a victory because it wasn't.
In a weird way, it wasn't, but it was. Because it wasn't a complete blowout. Remember when I talked about the 0-2? The differences between two teams that go 0-2?
Yeah.
One gets spanked, one gets
from a fan base,
just nibbed.
I'm speaking from a fan base. So from a fan base perspective, it's a victory for us as fans.
Okay, sure.
For the Vikings,
okay, now I get it.
I want them to stay hungry. I don't want them to think that they did anything good.
Sure.
I want them to build on what they did good and stay hungry.
Can we agree though that like from a fan
base perspective,
this year, but the year in general though, like I would rather not have us by the grace of God win more than 4 games because what's the point? Dude, a draft pick between winning 4 games and 6 games is huge.
Yeah.
There's that matters, and depending on who the teams are, if you need a quarterback, that's huge. Quarterback is the most highly sought after position in this sport.
Yeah.
If that's the route we're going, I hate to be negative because I've never had that in my heart. Like it's hard for me to sit here and say that I want to go 1-16 because I'm just having such a hard time with the coaching and the style of play that we have going forward.
Yeah.
Dude, like the second half, Sam. Why weren't we more aggressive? Why couldn't we be more aggressive?
So,
we were so cowardly.
So here's the thing.
Every year it's the same thing.
I think it's okay to win a few games and for us to still be competitive for a quarterback. Because here are the teams that are at the bottom of the pile right now. Houston Texans. They're established with Deshaun Watson. Us.
Mm-hmm.
The Atlanta Falcons, who might be looking for a
Wait, are they 0-3? No, they won today.
According to ESPN, they lost.
No, it was 10-26, dude. No. Dude, no. It was 10-26 when I last saw.
Hold on. This is breaking news. This is breaking news.
Are you kidding me right now?
Hold on, I gotta find it. Hold on. The Bears won 30-26.
You're telling me Nick Foles came in the second half?
Dude.
Wait. Hang on. I gotta see this for myself. Okay.
This is a fantastic
The
podcast.
Bears won 30-26.
I just told you that.
The Bengals and Philly tied. Okay, NFL, get rid of the fucking tie. What are you doing?
Okay, but I digress. The Atlanta Falcons, they may be looking for a Matt Ryan replacement. He's getting kind of old. The New York Jets, I think they're still going to move forward with the Sam Darnold experiment. New York Giants
comes in after not playing a single game since Jacksonville and the Super Bowl, and he fucking wins the game for the Bears.
The New York Giants, they have Daniel Jones. Hold on, Pat.
Okay.
I'm not done.
Sorry.
I'm not done.
Yeah.
So we have Houston Texans, they're set. Us, the Atlanta Falcons, who might be looking for a replacement. New York Jets, who are going to continue the Sam Darnold experiment.
No, they're going to get rid of him.
You think they're going to get rid of him?
If they have a chance to draft a guy, they'll draft a guy. It's like they're like the next Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
They take a QB every fucking year.
Yeah.
Okay, but go ahead.
New York Giants, Daniel Jones.
He's sticking around for another year. He's sticking around for another year.
Denver Broncos, who might need somebody.
They've got what's his face?
But they still need to play. I think they're playing.
They
right
won't
now.
take a quarterback though, because they took Paxton Lynch and then they took who's that guy? Drew Lockett. Drew Lock. So they won't take one either.
And then the Carolina Panthers.
They got Teddy Bridgewater. I'm sure they signed him for a couple of years. They won't take one also.
Which I don't know. They might be winning today. They haven't played yet.
Justin Fields went vegan. He'll change his mind when it comes to draft time.
I'm just saying. I think it's okay to win a few games and still have that hope if that's what happens. But
okay.
Anyway, dude, the Falcons lost today.
Are you kidding me, dude?
That's the second time they
came
up.
in the second half. He hasn't played this year.
That's the second time they gave
and he
it
hasn't
up.
played since Jacksonville when I think he broke his collarbone. Didn't he break his collarbone last year? And then Blake Bortles had to come back in.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Something.
No,
of that
Blake
nature.
Bortles played for the Rams last year.
What?
Yeah, he was the Rams backup. All right, Pat. Anything else to say?
Yeah, we're Bears fans this year because they're 3-0 and the Packers are 2-0.
Are they 3-0?
Yeah.
They're 3-0. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
Okay. Hey. Okay, as a
Get a
Viking
Khalil
fans,
Mack jersey?
are you rooting for the Saints or the Packers? Because both of them are the scum of Mother Nature and Earth as a whole.
My heart roots for the Saints.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
My wallet roots.
Oh, can you
for
please
the
talk
Packers.
about
Hold
how
on,
you're
no,
betting
I
this year?
won't talk about that, but I will say for anybody that's interested, this podcast probably won't get published before the Packers.
Oh, I'm going
game.
to publish today.
But the Packers are the underdogs,
Crazy.
which
to me.
is insane the way they've been playing and the fact that Michael Thomas is out. So, just for everyone's situational awareness. Anyway, join us next time on the Fourth and Skol podcast. We'll be previewing the Vikings and the Texans, two
Please keep
0-3
listening.
teams that are going to be duking it out for their first win.
I hope people still enjoy it.
And until then, Skol Vikings.
It's just me and you, buddy.
It's just me and you to the bitter end.
Okay, bye, everybody.